Hello, welcome back to Jeff's Giant Growing Journal. Today is Tuesday, May 30th. One important thing right here at the beginning of the video I need to tell you, you have until tomorrow night at midnight, May 31st, to pick your team for Pumpkin Wars. Remember, it's as simple as just making a comment on a video or a Facebook post on which team you want to be on. It doesn't really matter who you pick. It's all for fun. Sure, you know, for us it's pretty serious. I mean, we have a trophy that we're going to have. We'll reveal that later on. But for you guys, it's free seeds. Like Chris said in his last video, you got great genetics coming. You got a variety of seeds coming. Whether it's a pumpkin or a squash, or in the case of Jay, it could be any number of things. Watermelon, long gourd, bushel gourd. He grows all kinds of things. You just never know what you might get from Team J. But on this video, I actually recorded a video on Sunday, so 2 days ago. I'll show you that video now. These here are the 1813.5 pews. I still have not cut one. I'm actually going to cut one here directly though. As you can tell, this upper one is still just a little bit ahead. The lower one, the further one away, does not seem to be catching it, kind of basically staying right with it. Secondaries look good really on both of them. There's really nothing wrong with either one of them. They both look good. They could be a little darker in color. They're a little light, but I started feeding them some nitrogen, so they should both darken up. But well, one of them will. The other one's getting cut off. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the shorter one. Secondary wise, everything looks good. I have not buried any vines yet, but I will actually be starting that tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. Now, one important thing to remember when you are culling a plant, don't grab it and pull it out. If I were to grab that plant right there and pull that up out, I'm going to disturb this whole area. All of this is going to get disturbed. I'm going to pull all those roots and everything else out. The roots from that stump are intertwined with the ones from this stump. So your best bet, just cut it off. And that's it. She's gone. We're down to one. Hope I picked the right one. Time will tell. Hopefully the Lord blesses me. So here we are at that plant that's left over, the 1813 pew, 1813.5. Something I want to show you guys before I go covering it up with my weed barrier. I don't know if you can see or not, how good you can see or how good I can make this be seen for you. That is still wet from 2 days ago. It's still pumping water. These plants pump a lot of water. So when you see people putting on, 60, 70, 100, 130 gallons a day, that's why. They pump the water, and they pump a lot of it. After this video, I'll get that covered up just so I have less of an area to weed. I don't like weeding. That's one reason for the weed barrier this year. I'm just trying it out. I'm actually trying it out on my two major plants, but I am trying it out. As you can see, I started burying some vines tonight. And the way that I do it is I cut a triangle in the weed barrier, and then I just tuck that triangle back underneath of the weed barrier. I put my vine bearing mix in there and then throw some soil on top. This particular soil is actually, I had some from planting my regular garden. I had some leftover potting soil and mushroom compost mixed, so I just used that. I didn't need it for anything else in the garden, so I figured, well, it should be good enough for a vine bearing mix and get that secondary root system going. Okay, here we are at the 150 patch. One thing that you'll notice if you watched my last video, these plants are not much bigger. I got a pretty good theory why, and if you watched my last video, you'll know that I had a theory on my other two plants as to what was going on with them, why they weren't growing quite as well. And the same holds true for these. They're not growing because I don't believe they're getting enough water. You can see I do water every day with my drip tape, but you can see it's dry right there. It's not really that wet. As soon as I get done making this video, I will dump probably 5 gallons of water on there. And the last time I did that, which was Sunday evening, they actually grew quite a bit, which is kind of nice. You also see something really screwy here. This plant, right there's the vine tip. It's growing backwards. I don't know how critical that is on these particular plants, simply because I do have this one next to it that's growing somewhat right. But this one also has a split in that vine, and it's probably going to go anyway. I just need to get this one laid down safely and headed in the right direction, and then I'll cut that other one. So I'm not too concerned with that one growing backwards and the split in it. So we'll hopefully really concentrate on this one here and get it going the right direction. And here we are at the 1989.5 Conway. You'll notice there's only one plant. There's also not a hoop house. I just took the hoop house off and I buried the vines, as you can see there. Got that buried, and I cut the shorter one off. It was quite a bit shorter. It's a pretty easy decision on that. There really wasn't anything wrong with either one of them, other than the other one was just short. So I cut it off. It won't be long, and I'll be tilling this and getting it tilled and amended, and I'll get the weed barrier put down on here. It won't be long, probably before this weekend. This plant will be at the end of that, so I'm gonna have to get that done here this week sometime. You can tell I did do it in the greenhouse already. I'll show you a time lapse of me doing that. And there you have it. That shows you how I do it, or kind of a quick, few seconds of how fast I can work, especially in a time lapse. Getting the soil ready to be covered with the weed barrier, and then ready for the plant to cover it. And I'll just go through and bury vines just like I told you I did earlier here in this video, and we'll be off and running. It won't be long, probably another 2-3 weeks. We'll be pollinating, probably a little later in June than I would like, but that slow start did not help me out at all. So but that's okay. We'll get there, and we can still grow a big one. I'm not too worried about it. Don't forget to pick your team for Pumpkin Wars. You got until tomorrow night to get that done, and good luck to the other guys, and good luck to you guys as well. I hope you grow a big one, and I hope you grow a personal best. Good luck this year. God bless, and grow big.